At First Choice Bank, we know you can't always make it before the bank closes. With our integrated teller, you can talk to a live person as late as 7 p.m. on weekdays and noon on Saturdays. It's not just an ATM, it's an ITM. First Choice Bank, your choice for banking.
A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's scary that it can be put into anything, and we can't even see it or notice it.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 5. It has been a crazy week. It's been a long week for me, but we have finally made it to the weekend and it is finally Friday night and we have beautiful conditions in the forecast here. I'm meteorologist Caleb Edelblut here in the Rooms Room Weather Center and we are having the Battle of the Waves tonight. That is your Mississippi Live Game of the Week. Of course, that is in Tupelo hosting West Point. Of course, Matt will be live out there in Tupelo covering everything we need to know, whether it's football or with that weather conditions going on out there in Tupelo right now. But also for the weather, not only for today and into your Saturday and Sunday, we are seeing beautiful weekend conditions continue not only for your Friday evening, but into your Saturday and Sunday as well. So let's just hop right into it. Taking a look at the first 12, we are starting to see these beautiful conditions pretty much continue into the rest of our evening. Dry conditions will be the story for this weekend. Seeing some afternoon showers kind of push their way out of our area as we start getting closer towards 6 o'clock, but we will start seeing those drier conditions take place. 79 degrees by 6, cooling off into the 60s, 68 by 9 p.m., then cooling off into the low 60s as well. We'll probably start seeing some upper 50s pop up in those later a.m. hours to have a great start to our Saturday as well. So these beautiful conditions are going to continue. And of course, Matt's live out there in Tupelo right now, enjoying these beautiful conditions. What can you tell us right now?
Yeah, we're having a great time here at the Tupelo Community Tailgate for Tupelo High School. You know, here looks like it's toppy on me. Give a second for that data to catch back up as I put that back in there. But yeah, it's a great evening out here, and a lot of folks already having a good time. A lot of great food and fun to be had. Let's see if I can track down that meteorologist, Gabe Maynard here. I saw him talking just a second ago. We've lost him. Tupelo's walked in. Hey, y'all. Good luck tonight. Of course, Tupelo here, number one team in the state on a massive win streak, but of course, bringing another team on a 12-game win streak into town as well. Number 2, West Point. So it's something that's in a lot of ways has been the game that everyone's been looking for all year long. You can see there's our meteorologist, Gabe Maynard. Finally found him.
So much food that I was just obsessed and got lost over there in the distance.
My earpiece back out. It was so loud. I put that in just to make sure people could get a hold of me. So give me a second. Back like that so we can actually hear you. Okay. So, a lot of excitement surrounding this game, right?
For a lot of excitement. 2 big winning streaks, might I add, and one of those ending tonight. Will Fulmeyer will have more on that later on this evening. But I've been excited before the game. Take a look at everything that's out about. So many people, great tents, great food. That's what I'm always about.
Yeah.
But, you definitely need to head out here and enjoy the great game and great atmosphere for our Friday night games and that forecast as well.
It is looking pretty nice out there as well. In fact, we'll focus on that forecast here for just a moment. Temperatures are pretty nice. Gabe pointed this out a minute ago here. We have 2 meteorologists, both in shorts and short sleeves. It's 78 right now. That makes for a great temperature, honestly, all things considered. But it is going to be rather cool, I think, in some cases, by the conclusion of this game in some spots. We'll look at that more with your hour by hour here in a minute. Here's Mississippi Live Weather Radar. Mostly dry, but we do have a couple showers that we are tracking out there. We're looking down closer to the Golden Triangle here, close to Starkville, back out there, kind of north and east of Louisville. Let's kind of put this into motion. Look at the 1-hour loop on this here. You'll notice that these storms not moving particularly far and not large. So they're kind of about as big as they're going to end up becoming. But again, some moderate rainfall possible out of kind of the heaviest of these. That one there just east of 25 near the Winston community. You can see there. It's kind of popping up southeast of Craig Springs. But that is about as heavy as anything is. Some moderate rainfall briefly there on the east side of Starkville. A few other showers up there close to the Cedar Bluff community. But outside of that, there's really not a whole lot out there, meaning for most of these Friday night football games, we are going to be in great shape. So as we look ahead at that forecast hour by hour going through the evening, you'll notice that those temperatures That's kind of the other story there. We're 70 by around 8 p.m. and 67 by 10, meaning by the conclusion of some of these games, with those temperatures in kind of the mid-60s, if you're adjusted to summer-like weather we've had recently, well, it might feel just a little bit cool. These breezes we have, these northerly breezes already kind of have that feel as well. We'll look at Futurecast in much more detail here in a minute, but you'll notice not a lot of additional showers kind of popping up out there, Caleb. And that's kind of the story. Drier weather building in for the next few days. You're looking ahead at where those rain chances are going to be the most likely, but certainly, thankfully, this evening, that's not that time period, right?
Yes, no, definitely not this time period. We are starting to see drier conditions, so I appreciate you giving us that live look out in Tupelo right now. Well, we'll be back in just a few minutes with Matt giving us that latest look, but taking a look back at the Futurecast, we can see those drier conditions he was talking about. Those showers still trying to move on out of North Mississippi, maybe some more down in the southern portions of our state. But for North Mississippi and any football games we have up here, we are seeing those dry, perfect conditions in store. We can see that continue into the early AM hours around midnight. Not seeing many showers across Mississippi at all. I'm covering up where the action is taking place. That was that cold front that moved through earlier this work week, giving us those rain showers that we had for our Wednesday and Thursday, but drier conditions are starting to be set up in store for us for not only our Friday night, but into your Saturday and Sunday as well. So we continue tracking this out in Futurecast, seeing dry conditions and not much color to look at on our map as we continue into our Saturday as well. Taking a look at the first 12, 60 degrees by the time we're starting off around 6 in the morning. Like I mentioned earlier, maybe some upper 50s starting to sprinkle in and pop up across North Mississippi. So like our meteorologist Maggie McCauley said earlier this morning, take your cup of coffee outside, enjoy a fall-like morning. We're finally in that season, so it'll be a great start to your Saturday as well. Hitting the upper 60s by 9 in the morning, and then we are only topping out in the low 80s for our afternoon highs, so it will be a perfect Saturday in store for us here in North Mississippi. Of course, by the time we get towards our 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock broadcast, we are starting to cool off as well, so beautiful conditions are in store for us this weekend. But of course, I'm going to continue to give you the latest in-depth look on those rain chances, and really not many rain chances as we continue into our weekend, what those beautiful conditions entail, and of course, our Will Kohlmeyer going to give us the latest look on those high school games happening across Friday night today, and then what a SEC game day forecast looks like coming up in 1 minute.
As a nurse, I've seen a lot of people with sleep deprivation. It affects their job, their home life. At Room to Room, we want to take the guesswork out of buying a mattress, and that's why we brought in this technology. It shows you what you need. We want to do the assessment and find exactly what's perfect for you.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us at Mississippi Live Weather at 5. We, of course, get to start off our Friday broadcast with our football forecast, our high school game of the week presented by Casey Lott. We had a 10% chance of rain showers for our pregame, but thankfully, drier conditions are in store for us here in North Mississippi. Around 79 degrees by the time we're kicking off and starting off our game, cooling off throughout the rest of the game, seeing those low 70s start popping up around halftime. Then by the time you are hopefully celebrating a win on your way home, you are seeing mid to upper 60s. And of course, we're starting to see these drier conditions out in Tupelo right now, and Matt is live out there enjoying these conditions.
Yeah, we're here live. Hey, y'all. We're at the Tupelo Community Tailgate at our Mississippi Live Game of the Week presented by Casey Lott. It's obviously, hey, y'all. Y'all doing all right? It's kind of a party-like atmosphere out here today as everyone's just excited for what is unquestionably the biggest game of the season for the Tupelo Golden Wave and the West Point Green Wave. Bringing in, of course, our meteorologist Gabe Maynard here once again. A lot of fun out here, and everybody clearly excited about this game. Two undefeated teams going back to last season, of course, win streaks here, state titles in both realms.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big game.
Golly, and a big one for the rest of the season, kind of setting that tone going forward. Who's going to be the dominant wave?
And that's really the question here. And so, while we have two weather experts here, we go to our sports expert, Will Kohlmeyer, talking about that matchup tonight. Will, and I talked about this in more detail a little earlier on today.
Get on me, get on me.
Well, it's another big week of high school football. Will Kohlmeyer with us, and it looks like you're down in Hattiesburg there. What are you doing down in the Pine Belt?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's kind of an interesting angle to our game of the week. Of course, you guys up there with Tupelo and West Point, they both won state titles last year, Matt, and guess where they won them? Right here inside the rock here on the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi. That's why we're hanging out in Hattiesburg, and what a matchup it should be tonight up in Tupelo. Last year, it was West Point winning their second straight state championship. That, of course, for Tupelo, that was their first in 30-plus years. Both these teams coming in, they love to run the football. You see what West Point has done. They've outscored their opponents in 3 games. Remember, they had an off week last week, so they've had 2 weeks to get ready for the top-ranked Golden Wave. Tupelo, obviously, heavy on the run, and they came off of a very dramatic win last week against a really good Oxford team on the road. So it sets up for a terrific tussle tonight in Tupelo, and can't wait to see how that one will transpire. Now, there's some other good games in the area as well, Matt, including the team that Tupelo knocked off last week. This week, the Chargers are in a battle with another group of Chargers, the Grenada Chargers, and they won the state title in 6A last year, right here inside the rock, right on that field right behind me right now, and just very impressive. Off to a really nice start this year, and they can make some things happen offensively, but so can Oxford. Drew Dean, a fine quarterback. They're averaging, you see the amount of yards and what they're doing point-wise this year. That will be another game to keep an eye out for. And then we've got to take a look at the Battle of Highway 15, Pontotoc and New Albany. Pontotoc off to an undefeated start. They are all about defense. They're giving up less than 10 points a game. Meanwhile, New Albany at home, and they will sling it all around the field. They will go up and down the field, averaging, look at that, just south of 50 points a game. Now, their defense gives up some points, so it's going to come down to who's going to win that battle. Will it be New Albany's offense, or will Pontotoc's defense stiffen up and take care of that New Albany offense? So those are just a few games to keep an eye out for tonight. And, of course, the biggie is where you guys are at, Tupelo and West Point.
Absolutely. And Will, do you have any predictions on that game tonight? I mean, come on, this is one people have circled since the schedule came out earlier this year.
Well, we even talked about it, Matt, a couple of weeks ago. Remember when I was doing a report from West Point High School, that we were already teasing it because it's going to be a tough ticket. And I'm telling you what, you better be, if you're going to the game, you better be over at Tupelo High School pretty soon, because the line will be a long one to get in, to get a seat for this one tonight. I like Tupelo with the edge at home. That defense of Tupelo has just been legit week in and week out. And then offense is starting to develop. And Bobo, their fine running back, he had 3 touchdowns. He accounted for all the touchdowns last week against Oxford. So I'm going to give the narrow nod to the Golden Wave over the Green Wave.
Man, it's going to be a good game. Huge battle. So many great games this weekend. Thank you so much, Will, for joining us. Coming up at 6 o'clock, of course, we're looking at what's coming up on Saturday.
Yes, no doubt. There's a big game here in the Rock. For also, of course, huge matchups for Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and then Alabama. They got a tough road trip to Athens, Georgia, in a top 20 tussle. Yes, so we'll take a look at Will's winners at 6 o'clock, Matt.
Okay, thanks, Will.
Well, big thanks to Will for giving us that forecast for our Friday night games, and I guess I can give you all a forecast on the weather conditions for those SEC games. I'm excited to see his picks for these games. But like he mentioned, Alabama has a tough road matchup against Georgia in Athens. This is an evening game, so you're starting off with 76 degrees, maybe some soggy start to your game day forecast, but you will see cooler conditions start to take place for halftime and into your final snap as well. So it will still be beautiful weather out there. Just got to get through that first quarter and maybe some of those rain chances. Coming back to Mississippi, Ole Miss hosting LSU. I mean, I'm telling you, this week is full of amazing matchups. This will be a good one, starting off around 80 degrees for the first play. This is an afternoon game, so a little bit warmer, but 80 degrees, Mississippi afternoon game, can't beat it. 82 degrees by halftime, and then cooling off again towards the final snap around 78 degrees. So hopefully walking out of that stadium with the win as well. And of course, the Bulldogs are hosting Tennessee, another great matchup there in Starkville. This will be a big one. I heard it got sold out, so Davis Wade will be pretty much packed and ringing their cowbells, starting off around 82 degrees by the first play and then cooling off towards the upper 70s. Again, another afternoon game, but not bad as far as these below average temperatures that we're experiencing. Taking a look at Futurecast, we can see those dry conditions taking place right now. This northerly wind, that will be the story as we continue into the rest of our weekend and into your Saturday and Sunday. That is what's going to keep us dry. But taking a look at Futurecast right now, you can see those dry conditions taking place by the time we're wrapping up our Friday night football game. No colors on this map and showcasing any rain chances as we continue into the evening as well. Not much to talk about except that northerly wind pretty much keeping us dry as we transition into our Saturday as well. Low temperatures, this is amazing to see. We are seeing upper 50s starting to pop up across North Mississippi, and you can even argue some mid 50s, 56 in Tunica, Senatobia, Holly Springs. So it will be a cool start to our Saturday. It's finally those fall mornings starting to come back up into our forecast. So definitely a great start to the weekend as we get started for our Saturday. But we can take a look at our Futurecast for our Saturday, seeing if there's any rain chances in our forecast. And that answer is pretty much no. I know this graph is moving right now. You can't really tell with sides seeing. Maybe some cloud cover starting to build in just a little bit, but more prone in Alabama. We are staying dry and sunny out here in Mississippi. That northerly wind pretty dominant as we continue into our Saturday, allowing us to stay dry even into our lunchtime hours and into the evening as well. Seeing that cloud cover try its hardest to build up, but we will see sunny skies and thankfully not really needing that cloud cover because of how dry it'll be and how below average it'll be after that cold front came through. High temperatures, we can see that right here. Pretty much mid 80s across our viewing area, some lower 80s, 80 in Red Bay. Still, that is the place to be for the weekends is what I'm telling between all the weekends I've been here. But you can see pretty much mid 80s across our viewing area. Those heat and seas knocking us down just a little bit. I know I covered it up just for a second. Greenwood having 87 for their high, but you're going to feel like you're in mid 80s, 85 degrees. So it will be a beautiful forecast for your Saturday as well. And of course, I had to put in the park planner because of these beautiful conditions. You can start going up to the park at 7 in the morning if you're an early bird. You will see those upper 50s, low 60s start sprinkling in across North Mississippi, but then you are topping out around the low 80s as you transition into the afternoon, and then of course those upper 70s by the time we get towards our 6 and 10 o'clock broadcast for our Saturday. Going back to Futurecast, we can track out these dry conditions into your Saturday evening as well. That northerly wind still being dominant in this forecast. A high pressure system pretty much going to influence the rest of our weather into the weekend. Not much to look at here as we transition towards midnight and our early AM hours for our Sunday. We will see dry, clear conditions. So for any of you astronomers that love going out and watching the sky, this weekend will be a perfect weekend to do so. 8:30 for our Sunday. Beautiful church commute conditions are in store for us. Maybe some cloud cover trying to build in as we get towards our Sunday evening, but still pretty much mostly sunny skies are going to be the story for our Sunday. By 6 o'clock, seeing some of those clouds pretty much partly cloudy, if not mostly clear. And then we are starting to see those clear conditions as we transition into our early morning hours for our Monday. High temperatures. Notice it's a little bit warmer than our Saturday is, so we're seeing a slight warming trend as we continue further and further into the weekend. So enjoy those Saturday conditions. It'll warm up just slightly as we start wrapping up the weekend. Those heat and seas still keeping the same trend, keeping us at those actual temperatures, if not dropping us just slightly, allowing for cooler conditions to take place. Taking a look and tracking this all out for the 7-day forecast, you can see 83 will be your high for Saturday, warming up slightly into your Sunday, Monday. 86 for Sunday, 88 Monday. Starting to see those upper 80s start slowly coming back into North Mississippi, but we're still staying a little bit above average, but not as bad as it has been here in North Mississippi. But thankfully, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we will start seeing some rain chances try to come back in to North Mississippi due to a tropical system. I think it formed right before this broadcast, so tropical cyclone number 9. Is something that we're going to continue to track here, and that will give us those rain chances. And of course, definitely want to be alerted with those. But no better way to continue to stay updated than with the Mississippi Live weather app. Here are the QR codes for iOS and Android. They send out these notifications, everything you need to know for your day and into your weekend as well. But our next broadcast will be at 6 and 10. Friday broadcasts are my favorites because we get to talk about football as well. So we have our Friday night football games coming up closer towards the 6 o'clock broadcast time. And then the 10 o'clock, we will see not only the highlights from the game, but also your band and cheer squad of the week. So go out and vote if you haven't done so already. It is going to be an action-packed Friday here in North Mississippi, and thankfully not action-packed in weather because we get to just enjoy all these beautiful conditions. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's evening, and I hope to see y'all back here live tonight at 6 and 10.
Get ready for a night of inspiration, laughter, and support. Join us on Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. at the Tupelo Cotton Mill, where outstanding men from our community will walk in her shoes. You'll hear powerful stories from survivors and caregivers, enjoy delicious food and drinks, and experience live entertainment in an evening filled with fellowship, fun, and hope. All proceeds go to support those bravely fighting cancer. This event is powered by Wear It Well